Hello, and I'm back again. So, am I live yet? Is this working? Yeah, okay. Hello, Alokik Badoha. Hi, Nikunj. Nikunj, I was here, you were not here. So, long time no see to you too. Also, please let me know if I'm live or not, and if the video is working fine, if the stream is going fine or not. Okay? Yeah, it's going fine, I think. I am visible and audible, so okay. Alrighty. I am live. Hi, Adiba. Hello. Thank you, Nikunj, for the confirmation. So, how have you all been? How have all the 90s been? So, today we're going to read this very interesting chapter that is The Fun They Had. And this is actually chapter number 1. And I think Poonam Behraji was asking me to cover this chapter since a long time. So, I thought that let's do it for a long time, not since a long time. Yes, Nikunj. Hello, everyone. This tech lecture is not for class 10. Yes, Adiba, this is for class 9. We are doing the fun they had. And this is for class 9 students. This is their first chapter. Okay. Yeah, this is a class 9 session. So I would like to just say hello to all my little munchkins who are in the session right now. And I would also like you all to stay in the session for the whole time because this chapter is going to be supremely interesting and I would love to welcome all of you to the session. Okay, so I welcome you all. And oh my God, Abha. Hi, Alina. Ma'am, can I make a guess? You and I live in the same state. Nancy, where do you live? Oh, that's nice, Nikunj. So today you're going to help me out, okay? If you think I'm missing out something or I'm not explaining something in the correct way, then maybe you can just rectify it today. Okay, Nikunj, Adiba, Nikunj is in 9th class. And all right. So everyone, today we have this very fun chapter and even the name of this chapter is The Fun They Had and it was written by Isaac Asimov and so this chapter talks about a futuristic time, okay? And this talks about a futuristic school structure. And this school structure does not necessarily exist in the material school structure that we now know. It does not belong to the same apparatus. I mean, no, okay, although it belongs to the same apparatus and it belongs to the same framework, but it still does not follow the same physical reality that we today have. Okay, so these are futuristic times, and in this chapter, we see how robots are now the teachers who are teaching the students, and how students do not really go to a school anymore and find a human teacher, okay, or a human to interact with. Rather than that, sorry, instead of that, they have a robot teacher, and this robot teacher knows everything and is just sort of infallible and very mechanical, very technically advanced. So these teachers are not anything like us. They're just poles apart. Okay, and this is going to be supremely interesting because all of us have been through this virtual age, and all of us have, I think, not been to school since a long time, and all of you at least are missing your schools one way or the other. You're missing hanging out with your friends, you're missing your maybe teachers, you're missing the fun you used to have in your school. So the same thing, the chapter has been named The Fun They Had because of the exactly same experiences that these future children are having. Okay, this is the chapter. Future children have boring life. They have to learn from computer teacher, which is the worst. Exactly, Abba. So this chapter is going to be supremely interesting. No, the poet is not that. The author, the writer is Isaac Asimov. Okay. Yes, mechanical teacher, exactly. We are now almost same as Margie. Exactly, Dakshvish. That's what I'm saying. You guys will be able to personally relate to this chapter. I think now more than ever, the question of virtual classroom, the question of virtual teachers, the question of virtual books. I think now more than ever, all of these questions are surfacing, and there is a whole discourse that is taking place. Such in such a broad manner, and I think you cannot obfuscate any of that. Even if you try to, you cannot ignore any of the discourse, any of the discussion that has been going on how students can benefit from virtual classrooms, from virtual teachers, from, they can just have an easy way of life if they do not have to go to school, but then they will definitely missing out on a lot of things if they do not have a human teacher, if they do not have real paper books, so to say. Okay. All right, fine. So now let's begin the chapter. I'm not scared of pythons or venomless snakes, but I'm deadly scared of venomous snakes, especially black mamba. Have you seen it? Yes, Bhavin, there was a time when I used to research on snakes. Not research per se, not a detailed research, but just an sort of a cursory glance kind of a research. And I have seen black mamba, I've seen cobra, but I don't know. Somehow I'm very fascinated by python. I'm very fascinated by python. So yeah, for me, python is the only snake I'm truly afraid of. I think very scary. The whole appearance, the whole size, the uh, flexibility of the body, the sheer agility of the body. I think it's supreme. It's just supreme. Yeah, Nikunj. Okay. So I'm beginning. First of all, let's just quickly go through all of these amazing offers an Academy has lined up for you. So people, this 15th of August, all of you cutie 90s have your combat. And this Independence Day, let's hope that you guys win some amazing scholarship amounts from an academy. So go for this scholarship test, okay, at 11 a.m. for ninth class this 15th of August. And please bring in all of your friends here too and use the code SSIN10. And do not remember, tomorrow I am taking special classes on the Unacademy application. I am not coming live on YouTube tomorrow, only on Unacademy application. I'm taking special classes and I will be conducting polls regarding grammar and other things. So please make sure that you bring in all of your classmates, all of your friends, so that you all can enjoy my special classes tomorrow. Okay? Because they're going to be definitely like a festival. All right. Fine. Next, we have our combos lined up for you. So, guys, please remember all the 90s. We have our combo lined up for you again. If you buy 2-year CBSE course, then you'll get 25% flat off on your 2-year IIT JEE or NEET UG course. So, please make sure that you guys go and utilize this opportunity. Please go and be opportunistic. We're giving you an opportunity. Whenever you get an opportunity, go for it. Okay, never say never. As said by the great Justin Bieber. Okay, so this offer will end on 16th of August 21, Monday. So please make sure that before that you guys go and buy this offer. And we also have the mega offer still going on for you. This offer will also end on 16th of August. That is on Monday. Please make sure that you guys go and buy CBSE subscription. Either it's Plus or Iconic, it doesn't matter. Just go for the subscription so that you can prep for your upcoming examinations in the bestest of ways possible. Okay, make sure that you go for any amount, any duration of subscription, or any duration of months more than 12 months. Okay, so for example, if you're going for 24 months, then you'll get 4 months extra, which means that you will have the subscription for 28 months, which is a huge offer. You'll also get Creative Corner subscription for free. Okay, free of cost, free. So this is amazing. Please go and utilize these offers that we're pushing for you, okay? Because we're doing a lot and we need some return. Alrighty, and then Bugs Bounty offer is still going on. If you find anything that is inappropriate with any video, please be the first one to report it. And if you're the first one, then you can claim a prize. So chugli karoge to prize milega. Unacademy के amazing subscriptions. So guys, we offer you the education from best educators of India. We also offer you unlimited access to all the courses. And we also offer you study material, practice tests, live test series, your own batch, your mentorship and guidance, everything that you can ever dream of. Unacademy makes it true for you. Okay, Unacademy makes it come true for you. So go for this, apply the code SSIN10 and you'll be eligible for a 10% discount straight up. And go for the longer duration of time so that you have to not go through the hassle of renewing the subscription every couple of months. Okay, and also go for the iconic subscription if you want to, because this subscription is the stuff of legends. Okay, we'll be assigning a personal mentor to you. So this is the first ever subscription in the market that is personalized, that is customized according to the needs and the requirements of the student, of the learner. So we'll be giving you a personal mentor. This personal mentor will be none other than the top educator of Unacademy, and this person will be guiding you throughout your preparation. Will also be talking to your parents, will also be preparing study plans for you based on your availability, and we'll also be preparing weekly reports for you in order to show you how much you've progressed in a week, and we'll also be arranging live doubt solving sessions for you. So all of these are extremely premium features that we're providing to extremely premium and hardworking and dedicated students. Please make sure that you become one of them so that you can definitely avail all of these amazing facilities that we're providing you with. Okay, so make sure that you go and buy iconic subscription before 16th of August so that you can even avail all the other offers that we have lined up for you. And you have to go and use the code SSIN10 in all probability. Do not miss using this code so that you're eligible for a 10% straight up discount, which would be an extra discount. Okay. All right. And if you buy anything, let's say if you're buying Unacademy Plus, then you have to remember that you can also buy it via installments. All you have to do is buy a pack for more than 12 months and you'll be eligible for paying via installments. Okay, zero cost EMI is the advantage here, and you'll have to just apply SSIN10, which is my Unacademy code. If you guys have any doubt, then just go to Unacademy application, click on ask the doubt, take a picture of your doubt, upload the picture of your doubt, choose the subject of your doubt, and that's it. We'll be giving you the video solution. Just make sure that you do not post multiple doubts in a single image and do not post handwritten questions. Okay. All right. Now let's come back and talk about our chapter. This is line by line explanation, and we'll be discussing almost everything that is wonderful about this chapter. Okay. So first of all, who has written the chapter? So the chapter is written by Isaac Asimov, and he was born in 1920. He died in 1992, and he was an American writer and a professor of biochemistry at Boston University. Okay, so this American writer was also a professor of biochemistry at the Boston University. Okay, so this was not a person who was just a writer, who was just a poet, but this person was a multi-talented person. He was also interested in other disciplines and not just, philosophy or something. He was also a person with scientific acumen, and he was a professor of biochemistry at Boston University. He was known for his works of science fiction and popular science. So he continuously delved deep into science fiction. Okay, so he created works that had science fiction element to them, and he obviously went forward and created works that were based out of the popular science that was sort of dominant or predominant in that time. Okay, so this is the person, this is the writer of the chapter, Isaac Asimov. And now let's go on and see what the story says. Okay, so the story we shall read is set in the future when books in schools as we know now them, as we now know them, will perhaps not exist. How will the children study then? So the chapter is again talking about the futuristic model of education. Okay. All right. So let's begin. Hi, Shravani. You were not there in the last session. We had bundles of discussion and an amazing class at 8 p.m. We discussed the poem A Tiger in the Zoo. So make sure that you catch up and you watch that session. Okay. Once we're through with this session. Hi, Ashika. No, there is no Menti today. Yep, let's begin. Yeah? Oh. All right. So Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. On the page headed 17 May 2157, she wrote, "Today Tommy found a real book." It was a very old book. So we have our first character named Margie. She is this very sweet girl, and she's even writing something in her diary. So that means that this must have been something that is pretty significant for her. And so she has this diary, and the year that now we are looking at is 2157. So remember that we are now in 2020. This is almost a century later. Okay, I mean more than even a century, but like just let's say more than a century later. So this is now the year 2151, and we have a girl Margie, and the month is May, and the date is 17, and she's writing down something in her diary. She has written, "Today Tommy found a real book." Okay, what did Tommy find? Tommy found a real book. And it was a very old book. Obviously, when you're talking about the year 2157, the books have to be a thing of the past by then. Okay. Margie's grandfather once said that when he was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all stories were printed on paper. So, guys, look at this, okay? Look at this. Look at the chronology. Margie's grandfather once said, so Margie's grandfather, that means the father of his father, said that when he was a little boy, so when the father of his father was a little boy, that's when the grandfather of the father of Margie's father told him that there was a time when all the stories were printed on paper. So imagine that the story is being written in 1920 something, okay, and the story is talking about a time in the future, and this time happens to be the year 2157, which does not seem too far if we look at it now, but it definitely seemed too far to the person who was writing in 1920s, right? So according to him, he thinks, so the writer thinks that Margie's grandfather was a child. That's when Margie's grandfather's grandfather, oh my god, this is too much, okay, told him that there was a time when books were real, okay, when everything was written on paper, it was printed on paper, okay. Because today it was very bad for me. Oh, Shravani, oh, I'm so sorry that today you had a bad day. Yashika Daya, I've already completed my childhood. That was the last chapter I completed. Look at the session that I took day before yesterday. I completed my childhood. Okay. All right. Right. So this is now what the grandfather, matlab, this is huge. This is beyond imagination. You're now looking at Margie's great grandfather who said that there was a time when things were printed on paper. So this is now too far. Okay, we are talking about the time 2157 or the year 2157. They turned the pages, which were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on a screen. So for these kids, so for Margie and Tommy, who have discovered this real book, this book is obviously definitely supremely old. It is so old that the pages have become yellow and they're crinkly. That means they're crumbled, sort of. Okay, they have they're wrinkled. The pages are wrinkled, and it is awfully funny for them. So it is sort of weird for them to read these words that are not moving. The words that are just there on the paper, but the words are not moving at all like they're supposed to. So these children are habitual to a book, or let's say to a screen, in which they read word and the words do not stay still on the screen. The words keep moving on the screen. So this is how the screen is ensuring that children learn at a regular pace, right? Because if the words keep moving, the children have to read those words. They cannot just open that screen again and read from the place that they left at earlier. So this is a very technologically advanced way of ensuring that all the students follow the same pace. And then they turned back to the page before. It had the same words on it that it had when they read it the first time. So for these children, this book is nothing short of a wonder. Okay, they're very intrigued by this book. They're seeing that oh my God, the words on the book don't move at all. Right? They're confused, they're bewildered, they're perplexed, they're so intrigued, their interest is piqued. And when they turned the page back, they saw that the words that they just read on this page were still here. The words did not go anywhere else. The words were not moving at all. So, this almost seems like something out of Hogwarts, where, you get this blank book and the words you're writing or the words you're looking at are moving in the books that are in Hogwarts. If you've seen Harry Potter series, then you'd know this. So it almost feels like these children are living the Hogwarts days, whereas we were in the Muggle days, right? Okay, Yashika, I will think about that. Okay. Ma'am, why do we use had again? Shavni, oh my God, this is a huge topic. I cannot really touch upon this right now. I will try to explain this to you if we get time at the end of the session. Okay? For sure. Then please tell form where we can get this live session. What? Manisha, I am giving you the live session. This is the live session. Comments में कुछ काम का नहीं आ रहा. Yes, कुछ don't read the comments. Look at the explanation, and if you have any doubts or if you want something to, want me to say something, or if you want to add something to my explanation, you have a free hand. You can do it. Exactly, Bhavin Pandey. Grandfather can be grandfather. I mean, it's imaginary. Yes, Manisha, this is definitely imaginary. Super imaginary. Okay. I'm doing great, Alina. Please explain the last stanza properly. Rishabh, what did you not understand in the last? Okay, first of all, there are no stanzas. These are paragraphs. Which website, ma'am? Manisha, this is the website only. This is where I'm teaching. You are here. Yeah, okay. So anyone, any doubts here? Any doubts? Just let me know very quickly and then we will move on. So now we're looking at the year 2157 and the students are so confused when they're looking at this paperback book. They're like, oh my God, the words are not moving. The words are still there. So they're confused because they're accustomed to this screen in which the words are always moving and they have to catch up, or they have to sort of stay at the pace of the words that are moving on the screen. Stone age people, they say exactly. I was so true. I was even going to say that it seems like we are from the Bronze Age. We are the Muggles, and these people are the Harry Potter people. No, like they're from Hogwarts. Their screen is moving, everything is moving, and everything is magic for them. But we have to read these words which are not moving at all. Okay. Devanshi, what do you want me to explain again? Please tell me the particular part because everybody else has understood. So I do not want to waste the time of the class. It's already very late at night. So let me know the part that you did not understand and I'll explain that again. All right, let's move on. Gee, said Tommy, what a waste. When you're through with the book, you just throw it away, I guess. Our television screen must have had 1,000,000 books on it and it's good for plenty more. I wouldn't throw it away. So Tommy is now talking about a very real aspect of having these books. We are obviously wasting paper. We are obviously never reading these books again. We are always moving on to the next book. So we are obviously first of all harming the nature, and the second thing, we're not taking care of these books, right? So Tommy is portraying the same ideas. Okay, Tommy is saying that my god, once you're through with the book, you're just going to throw it away, and I have a screen wherein I have so many books, and I would never throw the screen away because the screen has a potential for adding a lot more. Sorry, the screen has a potential to add a lot more, right? Yeah, Rishabh is like, explain for the first one. Rishabh, I know you're already just you're not it's like, I know you're not into this, okay? Okay. Yeah, that's not happening. Whatever I taught till now, I gave you a quick revision. Ma'am, the author must have inspired from. Okay, Alina. Got it. So, this is what Tommy says here, okay? And if you guys know, we have Kindle, right? So, Kindle is very famous. And on Kindle, it says that they have like about 5,000 books and something, right? Which is something that I don't think any of us can have physically. We cannot house 5,000 books, but Kindle has somewhere around 5,500. I really don't know, 1,000 something. But Kindle has a lot many books, and we are slowly moving towards an age where um, everybody prefers reading from PDFs, from Kindle, or virtual books, I mean, audiobooks even. I personally, I don't go for physical books. I go for PDF versions of it. Okay. Okay. So this is just like these people have an advanced version of Kindle. Same with mine, said Margie. So Margie accepted the fact that they are never going to throw away their screens because the screens have a potential for a lot more. She was 11 and hadn't seen as many telebooks as Tommy had. So they are calling these books telebooks. Okay. So they are saying that in these screens, they do not have books. They have these virtual books, which are named telebooks. So obviously she is younger than Tommy, so she has not seen that many telebooks, but she has seen quite a lot telebooks. Or she has seen her fair share. He was 13. So he was 13 years old and she was only 11. She said, "Where did you find it?" "In my house." He pointed without looking because he was busy reading. "In the attic." "What's it about?" "School." So she asks Tommy, "Where did you find this book?" And he says, "I found this in my home in the attic." Okay, so in the room that is sort of a storeroom above the first floor. And she says, "Okay, but what is it about?" And he says, "It's about school." So maybe that's why this book was kept, because it was about a school. Okay. ओके ऑलराइटी मैम, फिर तो फ्यूचर वाले बच्चों के सबके स्पेक्स लगते होंगे। आई डोंट नो आभा, बट मुझे लगता है कि अभी भी ऑलमोस्ट सबके स्पेक्स लग ही जाते हैं, बिकॉज इवन इफ वी डोंट रीड दैट मच, हम लोग फोन में वैसे भी लगी रहते हैं, घुसे ही रहते हैं। सो वन वे और दी अदर स्पेक्स लग ही जाते हैं, तो उनको पहले लग जाते होंगे, या फिर शायद उनके टाइम पर दे विल हैव सम टेक्नोलॉजी जिससे उनके आईज को उतना इफेक्ट नहीं होगा, आईज जो है एकदम सही रहेंगी। बहुत सारी टेक्नोलॉजी अभी भी है अवेलेबल इन चीज़ों के लिए। यू हैव दिस स्क्रीन एंड समथिंग सम zero power, I think, glasses, spectacles that can save your eyes from the harm that you may get from the screen or from constantly looking at the screen. So like, I think, yeah, I mean, there could be a lot of things. Devanshi Rai, stop spamming. Oh my god, what's wrong with you, babe? Stop spamming. Ma'am, they will use night light or dark mode. Alina, I use dark mode, or like my phone only has dark mode. I don't ever go for light theme. But I think it's still going to affect. Okay. Eyes भी artificial होंगी, भवे तो ज़्यादा ही future में निकल गए हैं. So guys, this is sort of, the school that you have to picture in your head, that this is Margie, this is the girl, this is the screen, okay, जिससे वो पढ़ रही है. And then this is the teacher. So she has a robot teacher. Okay, so imagine all of this. I mean, for me, it's pretty unfathomable to really imagine that or to understand that there will come a day and age wherein students will have robots for teachers. Makes no sense to me, but then, yeah, it could be a possibility. Definitely, it could be a possibility. Okay, anti-blue light spectacle. Yeah, Rishabh, exactly. So anti-blue light spectacles or something, these spectacles help. All right, so this is the image. उनके तो classmates भी नहीं होते, कितनी boring life है इनकी. Yeah, I think so. All right, so now let's move forward. Margie was scornful. So Margie was scornful. Scornful means कि वो जो है थोड़ा गुस्से में आ गई कि हाँ इस टाइप से. तो आप वैसे बोलते ना कि हाँ कैसे से लोग हैं. That is you're scornful. School? What's there to write about school? I hate school. So Margie is now feeling that this is such a dumb topic to write on because she hates school and she thinks everybody hates schools. Margie always hated school, but now she hated it more than ever. The mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for the county inspector. So, Margie is somebody, so you can see Margie, she's sitting here. This is her robot teacher. And Margie basically hates her school. Why? Because she has this robot teacher, this mechanical teacher. As I already showed you in the last image, this is her robot teacher, her mechanical teacher, and this is a screen in front of her. And so this robot teacher had been giving her tests, just tests, more tests, test after test on geography. And she is not performing well in these tests. Okay. And her mother sees that, and her mother is sorrowful because her mother feels that, oh my God, my child is not learning geography. And so they send for the county inspector. So that means that there is this some sort of inspector who is the caretaker of all of these robot teachers, and they take care that none of these robot teachers ever malfunction or teach something that is incorrect or just astray from the path, that sort of thing. ये तो vision है. Yeah, you could say so. Okay. Muskan Singh, I've already taken so many MCQ sessions that there is no way, first of all, that I have any MCQs left for you. Second, I have been taking grammar mentees, other mentees, one-shot revision. So if you just follow this channel, if you follow my lectures, you will know that I'm conducting a lot of MCQs. I'm conducting a lot of mentees almost every week. So I think then you would not have any sort of complaints or demands. So let's just try to, first of all, follow the lectures and know what I'm doing. Okay. रोबोट टीचर्स मारते तो नहीं. वेल अलीना, बाहर के देशों में तो पनिशमेंट, फिजिकल पनिशमेंट काफी ज्यादा अगेन स्कॉर्नफुल होते हैं लोग उसके लिए. इट्स नॉट इवन अलाउड बाय पेरेंट्स, बाय टीचर, किसी के लिए भी नहीं है. इंडिया में भैया पता नहीं, क्या पता इंडिया के रोबोट्स मारने लगे. हु नोस. हाँ ऋषभ, क्यों नहीं, क्योंकि सब कुछ मेरे अकॉर्डिंग होता है. क्लासेस के लिए रेडी भी नहीं होना पड़ता. एग्जैक्टली, आई आल्सो लव दिस ऑनलाइन वर्ल्ड. उस टाइम टेलीपैथी एंड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन भी होगा. बेस्ट लाइफ आभा 1 मिनट क्लास में दूसरे. अरे वाह भाभी, क्या बात है, वाह. ओके 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 ओके, ठीक है. मजा नहीं आएगा ऐसे पढ़ने में. सही बोल रहे हो फागुन. वैसे ऑब्वियसली मतलब रोबोट टीचर के साथ कैसे मजा आएगा. सो इमेजिन गाइस कि आपके सामने एक ऐसा टीचर है. मतलब आई नो दैट you students love to tease your teachers, you students love to play pranks on your teachers and stuff. लेकिन जब when you have a robot teacher who will not be able to scold you, not be able to rebuke you, not reprimand you, not admonish you, nothing, not chide you, in that case, what relationship will you have with your robot teacher? How are you going to prank the teacher? How are you going to tease the teacher? How are you going to have fun with the teacher? Because A human teacher is so much more than the knowledge that they give you. It's more about the connection, the personal relationship, the personal advices, the supervision that they provide you in your holistic development as a child, as a citizen, as a student. It's not just about your intellect, it's also the whole personality that they try to develop, right? They try to provide you with a lot of assignments that can help you think out of the box. But a robot teacher will not be able to understand all of these factors. For robot teachers, it would be unilateral and not multidimensional. For robot teachers, it would be just about focusing on your intelligence, on making you cram things, but not about your holistic, full on, full-fledged development, right? So this is how it's not just really about that you would feel bored. It's also about you will miss the connection. You will also not be able to pull any pranks. You will not be able to tease the teacher. You'll not be able to, see the teacher smiling or cracking jokes in the class, or even sometime you might even miss them beating the shit out of you, right? Yeah, Nikunj, that is so true. हाँ ऋषभ क्यों नहीं इमोशनलेस एग्जैक्टली एग्जैक्टली ओके रूहानी ऑल द बेस्ट ओके ऑलराइट मैम टीचर्स के अलग ही मजे होते हैं उनके साथ मजाक करना एग्जैक्टली सो या in 2500 robots once upon a time humans used to live on earth. Alina, I honestly believe that artificial intelligence will be our doom. I mean, everything is our doom. The humankind itself is its own doom, so like you cannot really put the blame on anything else. But I also think that if artificial intelligence becomes capable of making decisions on its own without any sort of moral apparatus or moral, allegiance to something, then it would be sort of the doom of humanity, because robots can easily overtake humans. I mean, they can easily overtake the world. Okay. All right, you'll not be able to write an answers and words because the robot has just the info in some language. Yeah, Devanshi, that's actually a really good point. Really good point, actually. Yeah. Is the best QQ robots are, yeah. That is so true. Okay. All right, guys, let's move on. So now now the county inspector is in. Okay. He was a round little man with a red face and a whole box of tools with dials and wires. So now the county inspector is not a robot. The county inspector is a man, and he's a round little man. So he's not that tall of a man. He's just a short height kind of a guy, and he has a red face, and he has a box that is full of tools and wires and other things that he may require to, I think, repair the robot, in simple words. He smiled at Margie and gave her an apple, then took the teacher apart. Oh my God, this seems so horrifying. This feels so horrifying, reading the word he took the teacher apart. It's almost like he ripped the teacher apart. I mean, I'm feeling like if somebody rips me apart and then puts me back together, uh, inserting all the knowledge chips in me, that would be so scary. That would be just, um, being just obviously like becoming a robot. So this on a personal level is very scary. And let's come back here. He smiled at Margie, so obviously he's a man and he has this connection with other humans. So he smiles at Margie and he gives her an apple to eat, and then in front of her he just takes the teacher apart. He sort of just puts everything in different places. Margie had hoped he wouldn't know how to put it together again, but he knew how all right. And after half an hour, so there it was again, large and black and ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and the questions were asked. So Margie was low-key hoping that the guy is just, taking the teacher apart, but he would somehow not know how to repair it, how to put it back again, how to assemble all the parts. But then obviously that person is the county inspector and is full of knowledge how to do all of this. Maybe, it's his everyday job. So he did everything. So the robot was of black color, and it was an ugly robot, and it had a screen on it, and it had all the lessons and all the questions, and like everything was just back again, and it was working perfectly fine now. So you can see this is the robot, and I mean, this is so funny to think that The student is sitting and the teacher is being taken apart in front of the teacher, in front of the student, and the student is not horrified at the sight. The student is completely chill. The student has this callous behavior towards it. Okay, and the student is more or less sad that the county inspector was able to put the teacher back together again with everything perfectly fine. Okay. ओ भविन भाटिया ओके मैम कौन से मैन का रेड फेस होता है ओके सो दिस इज रेड फेस का मतलब है बाहर के लोग काफी ज्यादा गोरे होते हैं एंड उनका डाइट जो है फ्रूट बेस्ड डाइट होता है बहुत ही ज्यादा तो वो लोग काफी ऑब्वियसली खून भी मतलब तगड़ा वगड़ा होता है उनमें वो खाते भी इतना मतलब अच्छी अच्छी काफी हेल्दी चीजें तो दे हैव लॉट ऑफ ब्लड और वो उनका फेस रेड ही होता है प्लस ठंड में तो सबका फेस ही रेड होता है बाहर तो ठंडी होती है यू गाइस नो ऑलरेडी ठीक है सो दैट्स व्हाई रेड फेस बोला गया है रोबोट स्टूडेंट्स होंगे पढ़ने का काम ही खत्म ये तो नहीं आएगा भाई सॉरी नहीं नहीं यशिका हाँ पूरा चैप्टर क्यों कंप्लीट करेंगे भैया हाफ चैप्टर करेंगे शबनी मार्बल का रेड स्कल गुड वन फ्लैश भवन फ्लैश डीसी का फ्लैश रेड रेड नहीं होता है हाँ मास्क रेड होता है वो अलग बात है ओके रोबोटिक्स मेरा फेवरेट है मैम्स आप कृपया रोस्ट मत करो अरे यार ऋषभ कम ऑन ओके फाइन लेट्स मूव ऑन That wasn't so bad. The part Margie hated most was the slot where she had to put homework and test papers. So, as any other student, I mean, Margie still feels the same thing, okay? So, Margie does not really hate the robot, does not really hate the teacher or the questions or the lessons. What she really hates is the slot where she has to put all her homework and all the test papers so that the robot teacher can grade all of them. Okay, so that's what Margie hates. She hates the homework. She hates the test papers like any other student. This is super cliche. She always had to write them out in a punch code. They made her learn when she was 6 years old, and the mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. So, this is not obviously like a regular human teacher. A regular human teacher would take time to grade the papers. They would come after, 1 week or 2 weeks and would give you those graded papers, and then you can see the result. But the robot teacher is super fast, super efficient, right? And the robot teacher grades the paper in front of her in no time whatsoever. He most probably gives her the paper back in, I think, in a span of maybe 5 minutes. So even the excitement dies out. I mean, I as a student, and I still am, I generally am very excited whenever I submit any sort of paper or I give any sort of test. I take any sort of test, and I, I sit cross-legged. I sit with my fingers crossed. I keep getting excited about the result or about the marks that I'm going to get. So, I mean, I don't think that with Margie this was really the case, because she knew she was just going to get the paper in about like what 4 to 5 minutes, and what's the point of getting excited? Because, well, nothing there. But she really hated doing her homework, as you can see. This is what used to happen to her when she used to do her homework. She used to get crazy. Okay. All right, fine. So all of this clear? I think I really love this GIF because it just shows you how students get so frustrated with the amount of homework, with the sheer amount of homework they are pushed to do, they're forced to do, right? They're forced to complete. So yeah. मेरी कोई फीलिंग ही नहीं क्योंकि सच में हाँ ट्रू दैट आवा पढ़ूंगा तो मर ही जाऊंगा फायर एंड आइस प्लस आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज इक्वल टू डूम ट्रू दैट अलीना ट्रू दैट मुझे तो रिजल्ट्स के लिए डर लगता है अच्छा तो मतलब वो डर वो एक्साइटमेंट समथिंग यू फील राइट बट देन अगर वो एकदम फटक से आंसर मार्क करके दे देगा सो लाइक व्हाट्स द पॉइंट लाइक इट्स लाइक दैट सो या okay so I am happy that Devanshi likes my gif also and now let's move on ये आप लोगों का frustration दिख गया है हमको अब हम लोग आगे चलते हैं ठीक है Fortunately, I'm the kind of teacher who believes in fun and I don't ever give you any homework, okay? I believe that you are very self-sufficient students and you can do it all on your own, right? Robots की feeling Bollywood में तो होती है, you can't ignore that. अरे ऋषभ रोबोट से पढ़ेंगे तब आपको सबको पढ़ाना खुद से है अच्छा निकुंज ये तो सही बोला तुमने बिजनेस करेंगे अपन दिस इज बिजनेस ट्रूली ओके इसके 3 ही हेयर क्यों है? भविन उसके बस 3 ही है, बेचारी बेचारे बेचारी जो भी है वो उसके, ठीक है? Okay, now the inspector had smiled after he was finished and patted Margie's head. He said to her mother, "It's not the little girl's fault, Mrs. Jones. I think the geography sector was geared a little too quick." So, um, now Margie's definitely disappointed, as you can see in the GIF behind me. This is Margie, and she's this young, pretty girl, and she's disappointed because the teacher was put back again in no time, and she was not going to have, some moments to her own. So, to her own self. So, where was I? Yeah, so I was here when the inspector smiled and he was finished with putting back the teacher together, and he rectified whatever errors he found in the teacher, in the robot teacher. And then he said to the mother that it's not really Margie's fault. The geography part in the lesson was wired too quick. So maybe it was moving too quickly and Margie was not able to catch up to all of that. That's why she was getting bad grades um, in the tests, in the geography tests. Okay. Those things happen sometimes. I have slowed it to an average 10-year level. Actually, the overall pattern of her progress is quite satisfactory. And he patted Margie's head again. So you see now they have these levels that are generalized for students, and you know very well that students do not have a general pace of reading. I mean, I explain something to the students, some students are super smart and they understand everything in one go, while the others want me to repeat, and the others want me to repeat twice, and the others just want me to start from the beginning, right? So all the students do not have the same pace at which they pick up things and they learn things. But herein you can see how with a robot teacher, everything is mechanical and everything is sort of done in a general fashion. So the county inspector has now put the pace of the chapter according to the general 10-year child level. And what if Margie is not up to that? What if Margie is dyslexic? What if Margie is, there are some other issues that she's facing? But all of these questions are not answered here. All of these questions have not been answered here. Most probably they'll have some other setup for these students. Okay, so let's not go there. But he says that otherwise, like, Margie is doing perfectly fine. She's not a dumb kid, and her progress is quite satisfactory. Okay, so that's what he says to the mother, and the mother is now reassured about Margie's intelligence. हाँ ऋषभ, क्यों नहीं? हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल निकुंज, ऐसी ही फीलिंग आती है, राइट? ओके, ऑलराइट गाइस, ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं. मार्जी वॉज डिसअपॉइंटेड. सो यू कैन सी, यही मैंने आपको दिखाया है पिछले वाले जिप में कि मार्जी जो है भैया वो अपनी एकदम डिसअपॉइंटेड हो गई. मार्जी जो है शी वाज लाइक कि ए टीचर वापस आ गया, 2 दिन का भी चैन नहीं मिला, टाइप लाइक दैट. She had been hoping they would take the teacher away altogether. वो तो ये होप कर रही थी कि भैया टीचर को पूरा ही उठा के ले जाओ, रखो ही मत इधर. एज यूजुअल जैसे बच्चे बिलीव करते हैं, मतलब बच्चे का सेम चल रहा है, बस टीचर्स चेंज हो गए. They had once taken Tommy's teacher away for nearly a month because the history sector had blanked out completely. So this is the problem that you may face when you have robot teachers, and like the history section blanked out completely. So there was no history section when this happened with Tommy once, and she thinks that Tommy was lucky that this happened to him. This generally does not happen maybe, and so she thought that Tommy was lucky, and she was hoping that something of this sort can happen with her too, and she can also get some time away from the teacher and from all this studies. So she said to Tommy, "Why would anyone write about school?" So now we are back to their conversation where they have discovered a book, and Tommy has told her that the book is about school. Okay, so now this was all sort of whatever we read was sort of recollection of memories of Margie, and now we are back into the conversation. And so she, because she hates the school and she hates the teacher and she hates the tests and the papers and everything, so now she asks Tommy, why would anyone want to write about school? Tommy looked at her with very superior eyes. So Tommy looked at her with very condescending, very superior, very patronizing eyes. And Tommy told her that because it's not our kind of school, stupid, just like how a cliche brother says to the younger sister, he he sort of dominates her and makes her realize that she's stupid, she's dumb, and he tells her that this is not our kind of school. This is a different kind of school. This is the old kind of school that they had hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So now he's talking about the kind of schools that we have in reality today. He added loftily, pronouncing the word carefully, centuries ago. So hundreds and hundred years ago, 100 years means century. So he says centuries ago they had these kind of schools, and he added this very loftily. Loftily means in a very high kind of manner. So he wanted to seem intelligent, he wanted to seem superior. That's why he said very loftily centuries ago, just portraying his intelligence and command on vocabulary. Okay. मेरे घर पे पढ़ाने को सारी पोल खुल जाएगी. Yeah, that's true, Abba. मैं होती तो रोबोट पे पानी डाल देती. That is a good one. Good one, Shavni. Every child has individual robot and one robot teacher per 20 students. Okay, Alina, so this seems like the setup where every child has their own robot maybe. फिलहाल तो हमें यही दिख रहा है क्योंकि मार्जी का अपना खुद का टीचर था and that teacher was focusing just on Margie and मतलब फिर वो आके ठीक करेगी और सिर्फ मार्जी ने ही वो फील किया. So yeah, most probably that was the case. मैम रोबोट एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज कराते थे क्या? क्योंकि नहीं कराते थे तो बच्चे तो रोबोट्स की तरह ही बन जाते होंगे. Devanshi, good question. For the time being, we don't really know whether any extracurricular activities were conducted. And I don't really think robots are equipped for that. Or, I mean, at least not in our age, maybe in this age in 2157, maybe robots are well equipped to conduct extracurricular activities. So, we don't really know. This has not been conveyed to us at least yet. Ma'am, that means one could easily buy robots, no poverty. Vaishnavi, you could say that robots were made available to everyone. We don't really know whether robots were made, teacher robots were made available to the poor kids as well. I mean, this is something that has not been dealt with in the chapter. Plus, you have to remember that this chapter is written by an American writer, and America being one of the most, wealthiest countries, does not really need poor kids to get free teachers. I mean, I don't really think there are teachers in America. There are students in America that are not taught, or maybe it could be one of the case that the writer is prophesizing a world wherein there is no poverty, wherein everybody has money to at least fulfill the basic needs of their life, and education is one of the basic necessities. So yeah. आपने जब सोफिया को देखा तब कैसी फीलिंग थी आपकी? आई डोंट रियली रिमेंबर क्या फीलिंग थी. आई रिमेंबर सोफिया बट आई डोंट रिमेंबर द फीलिंग. आई थिंक इट वाज, आई डोंट नो, आई मीन ओके, आई गेस. Robot PT teacher or games teacher? I can never, Alina. I cannot imagine this. Okay, let's move on. Margie was hurt. Well, I don't know what kind of school they had all that time ago. So obviously Margie was 11 years old. Again, she did not know what kind of school they had. So Margie was hurt because Tommy treated her like a kid who was dumb. So Margie said, obviously, I don't know what kind of schools they used to have in that time. She read the book over his shoulder for a while, then said, anyway, they had a teacher. Sure, they had a teacher, but it wasn't a regular teacher. It was a man. So she read the book that was in the hands of Tommy, and she said that, well, they had a teacher, right? And Tommy said, sure, they had a teacher, but it was not our kind of teacher. It was a man. So they had a human teacher, and you can see this is a classroom and this is a teacher and he's teaching the students, right? A man, How could a man be a teacher? So Margie says, how can a man be teacher? Because they are so alien to the concept of humans teaching other humans that they cannot even fathom, they cannot even conceive of the idea of a human teaching another human. For them, it's robots who teach other kids, and it has maybe been going on for a long time, so that they have no memory of these schools that were there in the past. Well, he just told the boys and girls things and gave them homework and asked them questions. So Tommy said that this man used to work like any other teacher. They or he taught the children some things and told them some things and then gave them homework and would ask them questions. A man isn't smart enough. So this is a very huge point, I think. Margie says that a man is not smart enough, which in some ways is absolutely correct, but in some ways is the most phony argument anyone can ever provide against humans. So this argument has both pros and cons, so to say, has both sides of a coin to it. So Margie says that a man is just simply not smart enough, right? They cannot meet the intelligence of a robot. Sure he is. My father knows as much as my teacher. He knows almost as much, I betcha. So Tommy says that sure, men are also intelligent, just like robots. And he says that my father knows as much as my teacher, but Margie takes a dig at him, and Margie says that he knows almost as much, I bet you. Okay, betcha means bet you. This is just a slang here. Betcha is a slang and sort of a short form for bet you. Okay, so Margie obviously does not believe that a man can know as much as a robot. Clear? Real life teachers are very interactive. They crack jokes and have fun with the students, unlike any other robot. Yes, Devanshi, exactly true. Then, all right, yeah, let's move on. Margie wasn't prepared to dispute that. She said, I wouldn't want a strange man in my house to teach me. So remember the concept of home tuitions, right? The concept of home tuitions is built on the fact that people want teachers to come to their home and teach their kids in front of them, right? In a safe environment. And Margie is completely against that. Margie says that I don't want anyone whom I don't know to come to my home and teach me. I don't want a strange man in my home. Tommy screamed with laughter. So Tommy is laughing, okay, because he knows that this is not what used to happen in school. So now you know that these robots are sort of one student per robot, I think. That's kind of a setup. You don't know much, Margie. The teachers didn't live in the house. They had a special building and all the kids went there. So now he's talking about the structure of a school, right? And all the kids learned the same thing. Sure, if they were the same age. So this is also something that is really good here, that he says that all the kids were learning the same thing if they were of the same age, which is a beautiful thing, because then the uniformity of knowledge is maintained, whereas we can see that maybe kids who were not the same age, or kids who were the same age, were still, learning different things with their own teacher. Okay, yeah. अरे वाह बढ़िया श्रवणी. Okay, yeah, so we will just read this last slide and then we will end the session. Okay, don't worry. So this is just the last session, and I think you should pay attention to the gif behind this, because you will feel what I'm trying to say here. But my mother says a teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches, and that each kid has to be taught differently. Again, this is a very beautiful idea. Even I think human teachers also understand this fact, and I think everybody understands this fact. Everybody understands how unique every child is and how that uniqueness of the child differentiates it from every other child, and how that child needs to have his or her own curriculum set in his or her own customized way so that they can learn in the best of ways possible. And this is again the idea of iconic subscription. Our iconic subscription that we provide you with, it has the exactly same idea. Just the same way, just the same, they didn't do it that way then. If you don't like it, you don't have to read the book. I didn't say I didn't like it, Margie said quickly. So he got very defensive at this, right? He said that, well, that was the way they did it back then, and if you don't like it, you don't need to read this book about school. Okay? I was praying कि सर की बाइक खराब हो जाए, सच में बाइक खराब होने की वजह से, अरे आप हाँ क्या बात है, भगवान जी आपकी बात सुनते हैं. So you can see in the GIF behind that the teacher is giving special attention to the kid, and that the teacher is being very loving towards the child. She's, making the child understand stuff. She's uh, talking to the particular little girl. And so this is what personalized education, customized education setup means here. Okay. Alrighty. So do you want me to end the session now? I have 2 more sets prepared for you. I think we should just read this one. This is very short. She wanted to read about those funny schools. They weren't even half finished when Margie's mother called. So Margie wanted to read about that very strange school because she had never seen anything like it. She had never experienced anything like it. And so she wanted to read about those funny, those strange schools. And they were reading the book, so they were not even half finished when Margie's mother called. Margie, school. Margie looked up. Not yet, Mama. Now, said Mrs. Jones. So, I mean, the mothers are playing the same role. They are asking their kids to go and attend the school somehow. And Margie saying, not now, Mama. So somehow we can see here that Margie has some sort of control over her timing, right? And the mama says now. So the mama is obviously the one who has the authority here. And so the mother says now, you're going to study now, but Margie says not now, which tells us that the timing is according to every other child. I think not, it is not a uniform sort of time that they have set. टीचर का फेस कैसा है? नहीं, टीचर का फेस जैसा भी है, but remember guys, today is Tuesday. So I love this GIF. This GIF is talking about everything. I am the teacher here. You are the kids studying, and this is Tuesday, and we're studying about school, and we're studying about teachers and robot teachers and kids and everything. I mean, this is just amazing. I mean, I think this GIF fits everything perfectly. Now, do you guys want me to read this, or do you guys want me to read this tomorrow and you want to be done for the day? Good one, Shavni. Okay. Alina says, ma'am, continue. This is fun. Okay. What about the other students? Yes, continue today. Oh my God. Guys, let's do one thing. I think, so I have just this slide, okay? I don't have any more. So I have just this slide prepared, and I think we should start from here tomorrow on, okay? So, and it's probably time for Tommy too. Margie said to Tommy, can I read the book? Blah, blah, blah. So we'll read this tomorrow. Today, let's end with Tuesday, okay? And let's call it a day. Yeah. Rishabh, what? Oh my God, Rohit Singh, stop spamming, please. Yeah, so now if anyone wants to discuss something, or if anyone has any doubts, anyone did not understand anything, you guys can ask me and I can explain it to you. I can take up your doubts, and I will not be the robot teacher, I promise. I will laugh and I will smile and I will try to crack some jokes to not make you sleep as well. Yeah. Do you know Anushruti ma'am? Yes, Alina. Why would I not know Anushruti ma'am? We often take collab sessions together. Ma'am, had wala doubt. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Shravani. So, basically, bacha, if I say, so अभी काफी बेसिक सेंटेंस लिखा है मैंने. आप कोई और सेंटेंस बता सकते हो मुझे जिसमें हैड साथ में यूज किया हुआ, ताकि मैं आपको वैसे समझा दूं. तो शबनी, आप एक बार मुझे वो अपना सेंटेंस बता दो ताकि आपको वो क्लैरिटी हो जाए पूरा. ठीक है, मैं आपको एक बार बेसिक समझा देती हूँ, एंड देन इफ यू वांट मी टू explain according to your sentence, then you can just send me the sentence. Okay, तो यहाँ पर जो दो हैड यूज हुए हैं, ये वाला पहला हैड है जो नॉर्मल ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब की तरह यूज हुआ है, या फिर आप बोलो हेल्पिंग वर्ब की तरह यूज हुआ है नॉर्मल. ठीक है, जो हमारा टेंस के हिसाब से लगता है. राइट, टेंसेस आपको क्लियर होंगे. ये हमारा लगता है हमारे पास्ट परफेक्ट में. ठीक है, ये वाला जो हैड है ये यहाँ पर दिखा रहा है कि मैंने ईट कर लिया है या फिर पोजेशन ऑफ समथिंग. ठीक है, तो हैव और हैड ये जो है, ये दो तरीके से यूज होते हैं. एक ये तरीका होता है और दूसरा ये तरीका होता है. लाइक अब बोलते हो ना, आई हैव अ पेन, बोलते हो कि नहीं बोलते हो? तो उसका मतलब क्या है कि मेरे पास एक पेन है. तो वहां पर आप पोजेशन दिखाना चाह रहे हो हैव से, कोई टेंस नहीं दिखाना चाह रहे हो. तो ये बहुत ही बेसिक डिफरेंस है, और ये बहुत ही मेजर लोगों को कंफ्यूजन होती है कि ये क्यों होता है साथ में. ठीक है. Means how to prepare for TOEFL? Do you give any coaching for that? Rishabh, I used to give coachings for TOEFL, but now I'm giving coaching to you guys. But for TOEFL, I think it would be great if you can just go through TOEFL's official website, and therein you will find model papers, and you can solve those model papers, and you can either go and buy, or you can, go and buy a book which has all the previous year papers, and you should just practice TOEFL. And for TOEFL, obviously you need a lot of strategies. You need great listening skills, great writing skills. You need condensation in your language as well. So like, it's not just something that you can clear with good English. You also need to be strategic about it. Okay, I had my pen in my left pocket. Yeah, so if you say I had my pen, then that would be, again, like very basic. Like uh, I had a pen in my pocket. So the first one had would be the basic tense, which again is referring to the past perfect tense, and then the other had is referring to the possession of the pen. Okay. LKG तो बेटा हमारे स्कूल में था नहीं. केवी में फर्स्ट से ही स्टार्ट होता है ना. आई थिंक फर्स्ट से ही, आई थिंक I've been in the same school. Okay. Speaking skills, Rishabh, yeah, why would you not need speaking skills? Yes, you definitely need speaking skills. Okay. All right, fine. And you can also go for IELTS. I think you will find that IELTS is easier, and IELTS is sort of a like more approachable examination. So if you're considering going IELTS or TOEFL, I think it would be better if you can go for IELTS, although that's a fact that TOEFL is more acceptable in America. Yeah. I am know nothing है. आबा ये क्या लिखा है? I know nothing या I am know nothing? या I am nothing लिखना चाह रहे हो? What are you trying to say? Dharmendra Mahakal, the term one syllabus of English grammar, you have everything. You have your tenses, you have your indirect direct speech, you have determiners, models, and you have passive voice, active voice. Um, yeah, and I've already covered all of this. Age criteria for TOEFL or IELTS? No, I don't think so, Rishabh. You just have to, I think, clear your. I mean, most of the students that I taught, they were in their college and they were preparing for their final term examinations. And once they were done with that, so the TOEFL validity is for 2 years, I think. So if you take TOEFL, let's say in the last year of your college or second last year of your college, then its validity stands for 2 years. So you can, once you wrap up your final examinations, you can go and apply in universities abroad with the help of that TOEFL score. I know nothing. Is it a paradox? Abha, obviously it is a paradox. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody knows everything also. It's just that we all have some part of the knowledge, the total knowledge. We have little parts of the total knowledge. Yeah, Bhavin, I saw the trailer. I loved the Venom 1 movie, and I'm pretty excited for the second movie also. Oh, yes. Okay, Karishma, got it. Okay. Devanshi, a paradox is, okay. Basically, a paradox is that cannot exist but sort of exists. Okay, I mean, two very mutually exclusive things, when they're put together and they're sort of made mutual, then that is what a paradox is. I like online mode. In all honesty, Shavni, I love online teaching. I really don't like the hullabaloo of dressing up for a class and all being all presentable and stuff. Like I love to be comfortable and I love online teaching. The only thing that I hate about online teaching is preparing PowerPoint presentations. I think if I get the opportunity to not prepare PowerPoint presentations, I would go on teaching online for the rest of my life. Truly, I would. कौन से डिजीज से डर लगता है? I think ऋषभ, cancer, leukemia, brain tumor, any sort of cancer, so to say, they're pretty scary diseases, and you have to go through a lot of physical, mental torture. So I think that disease I'm really scared. Rishabh, because I think I don't fit in with the culture there. Yes, school life is obviously best offline. I'm talking about tuitions. Ma'am, which things which are made to exist but don't exist, meaning of paradox. Okay, Devanshi. Let me try thinking of something for you. Okay. So light comes from darkness and darkness comes from light. You see? Now this is sort of a paradox because without light there would be no darkness and without darkness there would be no light. I mean, these things need to be binary, right? But they're sort of intermingled with each other. So that is sort of paradox, you could say. Okay, Bhavin, right. And there could be other multiple examples for this. It's late and my mind is kind of, stopping to work now. But I opened the question to all the other students. Guys, we discussed paradox a while ago, I guess. Can you guys give me some good examples of paradox? I know, Rishabh, I know. And that is super duper sweet of you. And I cannot be thankful enough, I guess. Okay. Let's see if you guys come up with any examples. Ma'am, Corona? Alina, what Corona? Corona is not a paradox. Okay. Come on, guys, be quick. तुम लोग का भी दिमाग बंद करके काम करना. Let me think of something. Um. Okay, yeah, I can give you another paradox. They say that we are living, but we're not actually living, right? We're almost walking dead. That is sort of again a paradox. I mean, a paradox basically are things that are too philosophical in nature, and they intertwine with one another, even though they are very mutually exclusive. That is again a walking, talking paradox in itself. Ma'am, that old story of rabbit and turtle paradox, best example. Rabbit and turtle. Eh, kind of. I think that's more of a didactic story, not really a story that talks about paradoxes. Aren't you afraid of corona? No, I'm not, Dimanshi. Okay, so Abha has given us a paradoxical statement. She says that no one is my favorite, everyone is equal for me, but I like her the most. Now, that is definitely a paradox, very easy. Um, you're saying no one is your favorite, but then you have a favorite. And I feel personally, I'm a walking, talking paradoxical person. I'm very indecisive and I cannot really choose between two things. I think I weigh the pros of everything and I weigh the cons of everything. And for me, they are generally always equal. So that becomes like I want to do something, but I don't want to do it also. Now that's sort of a paradox. Okay. Haha, Rishabh. Okay. All right. Bhavin, what? What did your teacher say? Okay, guys, come on. It's super duper late. It's 10:40 now. I was going to wrap up the class at 10:25, then 10:30, and now it's going to be 10:40. Okay, fine. I'll give you these last 3 minutes so that we end at a round figure, or that we end on a round figure, but then these 3 minutes are your last. And you're like Heinsberg uncertainty principle. Ooh, yeah, Rishabh, yeah. Bye, Alina. Yeah, it's 10:37. Yeah. I know 40 nahi hai. I knew, Abha. I knew this. I knew you were going to say. Yeah, so I am waiting for 3 minutes more. Yeah. Anyone else? Any more doubts? Hello, Vinita. Hi. You're super duper late to the session. Let's go here. I like this GIF. Let's stay with this GIF because it's Tuesday today. Okay. Hello, Mrinal. Yeah, you're back. I can see. Definitely. Okay. Yeah. So, any last doubt? Anyone? Please shoot and shoot super quickly. And I also hope you guys enjoyed this chapter. Actually, I did not teach this before because it's obviously very easy. There's nothing for me to explain much. All I can make you do is relate with the circumstances around you via this chapter. And I think that is my only job when I'm teaching this chapter. Acha, okay, Abba. Ma'am, do you like martial art and do you think girls need self-defense training? I mean, Rishabh, that's not even a question that you should ask. I mean, my answer would definitely be in the affirmative. I think girls definitely need martial arts or any sort of, even kickboxing, any sort of self-defense training. Yeah, guys, special classes tomorrow. We have 3 special classes tomorrow, or at least 2 special classes. So please make sure that you come to the Unacademy application tomorrow and bring all of your friends. Okay, please make sure of that. Save money by spending it. If I know one thing, it's that I know nothing. This is the beginning of the end. Deep down, you're really shallow. Ah, yes, exactly, Alina. These are all paradoxical statements. Deep down, you're really shallow. Yeah, so all of these statements definitely are paradoxes. Save money by spending it. That is exact. So, generally you would find paradoxical statements very philosophical and they're almost always true. You would, I mean, without without light there cannot be darkness, and without darkness there cannot be light. It's so paradoxical. It's inconceivable, but it is true. It is true in the utmost truthful sense of it, and its verity cannot be compromised, cannot be questioned, and you would feel the sense of wonder when you look at these statements because the world is not binary. We think of the world, you know, as constituted between binaries, but the world is not binary. The world is multidimensional. The world has a lot of layers. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Taekwondo and Jiu-Jitsu is best. Okay, Bhavin, got it. All right, guys, it's time. Yes, Vinita, thank you so much for reminding me. It's time, and let's not move any further. We're going to say good night to each other now. And I had really fun classes today. I'm super happy that we had these amazing sessions today. I think I should take leaves more often so that I can interact with you guys a lot more after I come, having spent those vacations or short vacations, sort of, because you guys are much more interactive then. Okay. All right, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. So, good night, guys. Until tomorrow. I'll see you in my special classes tomorrow. Remember, we do not have any YouTube sessions tomorrow. We have all poll sessions tomorrow, and we'll see you in my special classes. And please, please, I request you, utmost request, please bring all of your friends. Okay? Just give them my code SSIN10, and that's how they will be able to enter the Unacademy app, and they will be able to enter my classes. All right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Bye bye. Good night. Shabba khair, Alina. Bye, everyone. See ya tomorrow on the Unacademy application.